So this is Ronnie on the spot, Chris Curtis and the Sandman. This is from the inside out. You guys all know that because you're logged on. So we're going to talk about today right now. Sandman's technical guy, so you won't see him a lot in front of the camera, but he'll be there from time to time doing interviews, doing things. Just had a trip right now where we're just getting this started. So the plan was to take this studio we're in right now, which is in the back of a 40-foot or 30-foot Troy hauler. So everything comes out, the podcast goes up, everything goes back down together. So what I do is I set out, I got my Harley Davidson up in here, the podcast in the cupboards, everything's good to go. It's a toy hauler, it's brand new, it's being towed by a Denali that's new, and got all these interviews lined up. Going to go into a prison, deliver the program, and all this stuff. Everything is just lined up. It's all going to be good. It's going to be perfect. We take off. Nothing ever turns out that way, right? And it did in this thing. First thing is, before I even leave, I look at how low this Denali's sitting. And I look at somebody on the sidewalk and I tell them, man, that's sitting awfully low. I wonder if that's too low. Turned out it was. First thing happens, I get halfway. I'll run a little bit about this trip down, and then we'll go on to some of the things that's going on. First thing happens is I get a call from the prison. Solano prison was the one I was going into. And I get told, you know what, instead of this week, we need to push you back 1 week. It'll help you get your books in. It'll help do all of this, all that, flim, flam, whoop-de-wham. Okay. I don't have a lot of choice. I'm dealing with the Department of Corrections. It's a big entity, okay? They tell you they need a week. They're not really asking, all right? So here I am now. I got the RV place rented to stay there for this week, but now I need to go to the next week. They charge you money to cancel that. And so I have to call them. I got to cancel it. I reset it up to where I can drop the books off to a guy in Tri-Counties in California and San Luis Obispo area, Ventura area right there. So I get me a spot there. My wife's doing all the orchestrating at home, cancels here, gets hit with a surcharge, opens up another spot where I can go and park. And I'm on the way there when she's doing all this. I don't know. It's midnight, and I don't know for sure if I'm going to have a spot. Get into that California freeways, and I don't know if you want to call them whoop-de-doos or just somebody stole the money to fix the road, but the freeway just falls out from under me. There's a big old dip. This thing's sitting so low that the brackets for the sway bar hit the ground. They bend. They're all bent up. I'm on the side of the freeway with the sway bar because I don't have a hammer. And I'm beating these steel brackets back into place. Put it all back together. It's good. Still sitting low, though. I drive, get a little ways, hit another whoop-de-doo. Bam, guess what? They bend again. You can only beat a piece of steel so much with a sway bar before it turns to gum. Chewed gum. And they get real flexible, and they're not what they were, and they don't do what they were supposed to do, and I'm really screwed. So I get to Ventura, I get to the spot, I park there. Nice place. And I meet with Ron Self, who runs the Veterans Healing Veterans. And I give him all the books for the program in Solano that I'm going to go into next week. I'm just wasting time and wasting money at this point because I got nobody to interview in Ventura, and I couldn't bring the trailer there with the podcast if I did because, hey, this thing is low ride. And I got to go from Ventura to LA. So I do that. I'm on the side of the road in the middle of the desert in 160 billion degrees heat.
Is that when you called me?
That's when I called you. I'm letting you know that everything's all screwed up. It ain't going down the way it's supposed to. And I'm just hoping I can get a couple interviews in. I'm trying to keep my word to guys, too, that I got a whole thing full of tents, too, that I'm going to pass out to homeless people, man, that are out there and need a break, man. And sometimes a tent is just the break you need, man, to get the dirt out of your face, the sun off your face. When it rains, keep you dry. At night, to keep you warm. So we got all these tents that actually we buy out of our own pocket. Nobody donates. We ain't getting donations, even though it's there. It's just not happening yet. We're trying to get that going. Nobody's giving us grants. Walmart's not calling us up and saying, come get 100 tents for these homeless vets and these other homeless people that you guys are out helping. Now, we're doing this on our own, but you know what? It feels good. I like being able to say that. Yeah, I do that. We bought all these tents. We did this on our own. So going down the road, man, and just keep screwing up, getting bent brackets, beat them back into shape. We get down to I get down to LA. I park there, and I got to get an interview. And I go and get a friend of mine, Psycho. He's trying to get his life together. So I take him and his new girl out to eat, give him a little money, drop him back off. I'm not able to get that interview with him. I'm just not. I get with Junior. That was our first interview. It did pretty good. And I get with Junior. I tell him, man, brother, I need an interview. He goes, I'll come over right now, man. And he was my crime partner. Anyways, his story's on there. It's a podcast. It's on there as our first podcast. And he comes over and he goes, I got you, brother. Let's sit down. Let's do an interview. And we sit down in this trailer, put it together. It turned out pretty good. But he came to me. We did that. I had to go from LA to Orange County. Orange County now, I got somebody on. I had to go to a trailer place for toy haulers, for campers and stuff, and order the brackets, new brackets for the sway bars. Had to wait for the next day for them to come in. Anyways, long story short, turns out the Denali needs a different set of airbags inside of it so I can blow it up automatically and raise it up when I'm driving. And there was just a big fiasco. After that, we went to the high desert. And I went to the Mojave Narrows, put the trailer there. I'm still not able to get no podcast going. I insist on it at this point that I'm going to give these tents out to these homeless people. And we have some footage of the tents being given out. They're going to go up here probably behind me pretty soon in the middle of all of this. And it's going to show a couple of things, man. There was one woman, and she
the five-timer.
Yeah, the five-timer. I gave her the tent. She needed it. She wanted it, but something was going on in her head. I don't know what it was. She took it on camera and everything, and it all looked good. Got a lot of views on that one, on the TikTok thing. She took it. She walked back in front of this empty store that she was standing in front of with nothing. Barely had something to wear. And looks at that tent for a minute, cusses, and throws it in the middle of the street. I'm watching her, man. I just gave her this tent. I'm watching. She acted like she needed it. I'm watching, and she throws it out there. And then she walks back out and gets it, brings it back, and loves it. And then she goes through another episode, throws it out there, and starts cussing. She did this like 5 times. I'm like, wow, okay. A lot of mental illness going on in the middle of all that. There's a lot of shame that's driving people to doing strange things. And, my thing is this: unless you can get down in there with them people, you can't understand what they're going through. You can't sit at a desk, watch a TV program, and think you understand what it means to have a field full of holes and tents where people are living in the dirt, squalor. I went in there with them. You know, I mean, there's no guarantee you're going to come out. I guess some of them people are pretty dangerous at what time they were. But I went in there right there with them guys that never get visitors, and I've seen them. And there was some I know that if right now I had a program going for rehabilitation, I would be able to take that handful of people and I'd have a good success rate out of it, because there are guys there that are ready to change and they just need a break. You know, a tent probably wasn't going to be the thing that got them off the streets, but it was going to be the thing that got them out of the sun, out of the dirt, and out of the rain. And I gave those things out. And black dude walking along, man, and I could tell he's down on his luck. And I tell him, hey, brother, you're a little down on your luck, huh? And he tells me, yeah, I'm double down. I told him, all right, double down. Let's see if we can't get you a tent. And we got him a tent. So next time I go down, I'm gonna try to make a drive. We'll do a big drive for a lot of tents to help dudes out, and all along the way, we'll do what we can. That's what we're doing here. That's what our podcast is. We're going to bring you a lot of prison stories. You had another view of this while you're watching all this go down. You're watching the bottom fall out of another plant.
Everything we try to do just seems to have a wrench thrown in it. But every phone call I would get you from like what you leave, like after the second day was just, this went wrong, that went wrong. Yes. I can't tow the trailer. The airbags are, your brother fucking takes the airbags out. So you take it to the Johnny G, right?
Yeah.
You take it to the Johnny G, and you know you're going through. He cleared out a schedule to do this for you, so you could get it done. And you open up the back, and what's
there's no airbags. And my brother took them out of the car, put them in the trailer. I'm not towing the trailer because let's face it, it's not towable. It's stuck in Mojave Narrows. And he's then took the airbags out, and I go all the way back down to Orange County, couple-hour drive. And I get there, And Johnny G, man, I mean, look, the dude's a professional, and he's a good dude, man, all around. He's been through it, been to prison, and he's a success story. You'll be hearing about him soon, like I said in another podcast. You'll be hearing from him directly because he's got a story to tell, and I want him to tell it to you. It's a really good one. But he just, I'm down there now. I'm ready for him. He's cleared his schedule, and he's a busy guy. He does a lot of people's cars and stuff in the shops that he owns. And he cleared a schedule for me, and he's going to do all of this stuff for me to get me home, get me right. And I go down there and look at him, man, and the bags aren't there. And he just starts laughing. I expected him to be like, mother. But no, not Johnny G. That's not him. He's a pretty positive dude. He starts laughing, and he's going to help me laugh. He's going to help me find some laughter in it. He's like, hey, brother, you kind of got to laugh, right? I said, yeah, I kind of have to, because if I don't, I'll start crying.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way to look at it, though. But I mean, honestly, dude, I wasn't laughing when I was talking to you. I was letting you get it out. But you hung up the phone. I turned to my dad. I go, guess what happened now? He goes, Jesus. But I was laughing at it. But I never asked you, what was it like when you walked into Vacaville and you knew you weren't an inmate, and then your speech, like, what were you talking to? Were you handing out your books? What was going on?
Okay, so my story is my story. My stories are mine. You know what I mean? They happen, they're real. So I never have to worry about what I'm going to say, when I'm going to say. I can just tap into what happened, And I get there. So the guy that was going to go in there with me, Ron Self from the Veterans Healing Veterans, really good dude. Program is mixed in with his. He's the one cleared the way for me on all that. Well, he ends up having surgery. His leg's messed up. He's supposed to be in bed. He gets out, he comes up, he takes me to have a prime rib dinner. I have some really good thick prime ribs, really good stuff. We have the prime rib dinner, and he says, look, brother, he goes, here's the thing. I got to take you there, show you where to park in the parking lot, and the CRM will come out and get you. I'm supposed to be in bed. I got to go back home. I'm not going to be able to hold your hand through this one. I'm like, wow. That's a whole new perspective. It was one thing to go in with somebody and going to be there with you that goes into these places all the time. I just finished doing 23 years, man, and I've been out about a year, and I'm going to walk back into one and bring a program in there and some books and stuff. And I'm a little nervous, right? Because now my mentor and all that for this first trip in isn't there, and I got to wing it. And he said, look, I wouldn't hand it to you if I didn't know you could handle it. And so they came, they got me. I got the badge. I'm feeling funny. It's just like weird, man, because I mean, I've been in all your levels 4, gang member, all this stuff. And here I am going back in, and I got this visitor staff thing I'm clipping on, and I walk in with them to the auditorium. Now, there's always one, okay? So there's the group of people, and I'm in there, and I'm talking, and I'm telling them, look, man, you can do it. I was told no on getting out and going home over and over and over and over again. I reached a point where I said, okay, I'm not going to get out, but you know what? I'm going to write a program. I'm going to put this book together, self-help book, the Encyclopedia of Self-Help by Ron Harrell. I'm going to put it together, and I'm going to go ahead and let this book help people get out. I'm going to go ahead and, if I can't get out, I'm going to help guys change so they can get out. And that was when I had given up on myself getting out, but decided that I wasn't going to get destructive. I was going to be constructive, and I would help other people. And that was when I woke up one morning where a law had changed that was going to put me on the streets. And it did. They ended up owing me 6 years, letting me out early. And so I was telling them guys that, you don't give up. Just because they tell you no today, tomorrow's a brand new day. And so I'm doing my positive talk and all of that. And I'm basing it on my own personal experience. I'm talking to these guys and tell them about the book and about the program that they're going to take that I wrote and designed. So one guy stands up and he gives it to me straight out. Blah, 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 the 3rd degree. Who are you to be writing a book about this? Well, I went through the School of Hard Knocks, but I also went to college. I didn't want to just be the guy that learned it all, drug rehabilitation, counselor, and all of that from a book. I wanted to be the guy that can tell you, look, man, I lived it. I'm qualified to tell you what it's like to be a drug addict. I'm qualified to tell you what it's like to do 23 years straight in prison. I'm qualified to tell you what it's like to be a monster and not hold any value on human life, because that was who I was. I'm not that guy no more. And that's who I mean, that was the whole deal. And he stands up and he's just trying to give me the third degree, trying to poo-poo the whole thing. And I caught myself, the old me wanting to come up because I started to head through that audience and was going to deal with things the way an old me would deal with things. And I caught myself mentally like, no, that's not how we do things. That's not what's going on here. You're not on his side of the fence no more, Ronnie. There's a different kind of way of dealing with these guys. And so I just asked him, told him, hey, brother, I don't see no handcuffs on you. Did they bring you in here under escort, cuffed up? He goes, no. I said, yeah. So you came on your own free will. They announced that this was happening, and you came in here to poo-poo the whole thing. You volunteered to come over here and act this way. I said, look, nobody's forced you to come over here. Nobody escorted you, put you in handcuffs. Nobody's forcing you to stay. And nobody's going to force you to take my program. Matter of fact, you're in a unique position to be able to watch other people take it and decide if you want to. But don't try to tear it down for these other guys. And that was how I ended up dealing with that situation instead of the old way, running through the audience, jumping over chairs, and just diving on that dude, making it ugly. And I had a chance to make it really good. And I did. And it went pretty damn good, but the feeling was, leaving was weird too. That was another weird experience because now I'm leaving this prison. I just went into it and I'm leaving it. And I've never experienced that before in life. And I was kind of in my own thoughts. I was quiet, walking behind the CRMs. Now there's 3 of these ladies walking me out, and I'm just quiet. And I'm thinking, and it's just a surreal feeling. And I'm going out. I realized, you know what, I'm free. I went into a prison and walked back out. My own free will. The program's there. It's in play now. Everything's starting to work. It's with Ron Selson, the Veterans Healing Veterans, and it's a veterans program. But I also got the Universal Life Skills program going into other prisons. So, you know, you got to walk before you run. Man. We're walking right now.